Dear white people, that's the title of this video. Dear white people. Dear white people. Oh, you white people. Ugh. But it goes a little bit something like this. Dear white people, we salute you. I salute you. Dear white people, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for building this great nation, building America from the Pilgrims to the Founding Fathers. I want to thank white people for creating this microphone that I'm blessed to be speaking into. Dear white people, I thank you for building the buildings, for mending the bridges, for creating the first cars, for powering planes and making them travel across the globe, for giving us our economic systems such as capitalism. Dear white people, I thank you for all these things. And thank you for introducing penicillin to the sick and the needy and coming out with such great invention that has made our lives easier and safer than ever before, such as the mobile phone, the internet, electricity. I thank you, white people. And I'm going to go on and on and on. Each week, I'm going to have White People Are Great segment. And that is going to be in the title. And I'm probably going to get a lot of flack to it, but I do not care. And in this segment, it's going to be devoted for all whites from around the world, rich and poor, English, American, Australian, all around, for everybody around the world, in fact. And we're going to celebrate great inventions, great discoveries from whites. You know, the reason why I come up with this, because you have taken a battering. You have taken a battering. If it's not white guilt, it's BLM. If it's not BLM, you're a white supremacist. If it's not you're a white supremacist, you're a bigot. It goes on and on and on and on. And I've grown up in England all my life. And I have to say, I have never felt a victim or intimidated or felt inferior by white people. And in actual fact, it's because of my relationships I have had that I was able to educate myself, get myself a bachelor's of arts from the teachers who taught me things. I went on to give me a loan in order to further educate myself and do a master's, which I haven't completed, by the way, and get me my first job. And whilst on that job, I was able to learn as much as possible and able to start my own business. And I have to say, it did not come from my own kind. It didn't come from my own community, which you would have thought, because every other community has that, you know. They have someone who's a friend of someone or who knows someone who's a family member of some sort. There is that sense of community. But we are completely grifted into thinking that you're going to be helped by your own, which is not the case. But more importantly, this, and I hope that you can, if there are any white viewers out there, I hope I'm able to share that 2025 is the time that us as humanity finally wake up to this massive grift that is placed upon us, that because of my skin color, it automatically makes me a racist. It's not the truth. Blacks aren't white people's problems. Asians aren't other Asians' problems. It has nothing to do with our skin color. And the grift, I hope, sees through all of that, and it just comes down to two common denominators, good and evil. That is it. Love and hate. It is that black and white. Whatever the race might be. Because I kind of looked at it as, say for instance, you're in a community, you're in a community or whatever, and you find that your neighbours with someone who wasn't born here, doesn't know your customs, doesn't know your habits, doesn't know your way of life, and refuse to assimilate, and you find that they leave their rubbish outside their door, or they throw their nappies out of the window and piss out of the window and leave litter all around the place. And you try and converse with them, but you cannot, and they don't know any English. And that they refuse to assimilate with you. Isn't that a bit odd? I will find it a bit odd. You know, for instance, you could be in a restaurant and there could be forks and knives available to you, but they choose to eat with their hands. That's a bit odd. It's neither a good thing or a bad thing. It's just an observation. And because it's an observation, doesn't mean it's racist. Sometimes I see things I just find slightly odd, and I think, if more and more people adopted this way, would it make our culture and makes our communities and our environments more prosperous or less prosperous? That's all. So thank you for these whites, because I was brought up in an environment where we had certain pride of who we were and what we did. And I don't see that no more. I don't see that. So what I really am saying is that you really need to start taking the lead again. Taking the lead in our government, taking the lead in our businesses, taking the lead and get rid of this DEI and these kind of affirmative action quotas and all of that, because we need you. We need you more than anything. And this hasn't to do anything about a person's skin. It's just, you just did things a lot better. You were able to build skyscrapers and great multi-million type businesses, and you still do, but we need you to lead us again. We need you to lead us again, because it's gone way, way crazy. We're just trying things out, and we don't know if they're going to work or not. I could be just rambling on, but there is some underlying theme that is happening, that you look around all the great countries of the world, Australia, Italy, France, Germany, the UK, and it's just, they're slowly becoming shitholes.